Um, First and foremost, welcome. We are so happy to have you join us here today for a program that's being presented by both Sanchez Art Center and Pacificans Care. And behind the scenes here, I'm Cindy Abbott. I'm the executive director at Sanchez Art Center. I might have met some of you in the last week when I was passing out the art kits to people, though I know that our friends at the community center were continuing to do it all during the week. And by the way, if you have a friend that you'd like to have take part in this program with you, just we do have additional art kits available. So just let us know. There's a few more at the community center, and we also have them here at Sanchez Art Center, where we're located at 1220 Lindemar Boulevard. And you can pick up the art kits between 1 and 5 during our gallery hours, which are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 1 to 5. What we have up on the screen is what's going to be coming ahead. Last week, we did kick off the distribution of the kits, and as shown here, we do still have some available. So feel free to encourage people that you know that this is available, and we welcome them to take part as well. We're here on November 10th with our live Zoom presentation. And upcoming over the next 2 months, we'll be again distributing some of the kit pieces on the week starting Tuesday, December 1st. We'll distribute the second part of the kit. And on Tuesday, January 5th, we'll do our third month of activities. And as we did this time, we'll be passing them out during the grab and go meal time, the pickup time at the community center. And you can also request, if you're receiving a nice warm lunch through Meals on Wheels, they can be delivered through that program as well. Just make sure your volunteer knows that you're interested. And Dana will, of course, be sending out emails for us too, as reminders. The other thing that you'll see there is that on February 2nd, we're hoping to have another Zoom call with an art show where we're going to be showing your creative works. And in the meantime, if you are able to, you can share the work that you're doing with us by taking a photograph with your phone and emailing it to us at info@sanchezartcenter.org. Or in 2 weeks, we'll start having them be available to be dropped off at the community center. We'll take a photograph of it and we'll get it returned to you. To make sure that we can return it to you, be sure to put your name on the back of it so that we know that it's yours. But what's so fun about this program is that you're starting from a certain point together, but then your creativity is going to take each of these prompts that have been developed, and you're all going to put your own creative stamp on them. I'd at this time like to introduce you to artist Lola Fraknoi. And Lola will be telling you about her program, and we'll be showing you some examples of what you can do with these prompts. Lola is one of our studio artists here at Sanchez Art Center. But she's been trained as a professional artist, and if any of you have taken part in some of the great programs, she's also frequently an instructor at OLLI, the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute at San Francisco State. And we're so delighted that Lola is bringing you this program from Sanchez Art Center and Pacificans Care. So Lola, going to kick it off over to you.
Thank you. Could you spot me on the screen? I want to talk to everyone.
Let's see. Play spotlight. There we go.
There we go. Hi, welcome Pacifica to San Francisco. I'm here at my house and wanted to share this creative process with you. I want to start by sharing with you my most favorite quote about creativity, which is not the words of an artist, but the words of a well-known gerontologist that did research on aging and lifespan. And he said, unquote, art is like chocolate to the brain. So all of the new research is proving that creativity lasts the longest in one's brain output. So we have the chance to be creative until the rest of our lives. And I know some people don't see themselves as creative. These exercises are also meant to exercise your brain, just like you do with Word, with Sudoku, and all vitamins or exercise. Art is also a component of today's research into the aging brain. So the first thing that you're going to see in your packet is prompt drawings, which is the first of these 3-part series. And these images are meant for you to continue them. Here we have, this was my first design, and these mini art kits that you're receiving are part of a larger binder that are full of activities that include clay, that include collage, that include many other parts. So I wanted to have images where you see the whole thing, even though you only see half of it. So of course, this is a light bulb, but a light bulb can become many other things. And it's up to you to finish it the way your imagination. So you can always look at the image the correct way, but you can also move it around until you see something developing. And I'm gonna just work with you in how I envision this. So all of you have these markers in your pouch, and it has 2 sides, one a very thin line and one more of a brush line, which is a little thicker. So why don't we spotlight my hands now so they can see what I'm doing. Here we go. So I'm just gonna continue the line.
This.
And the bottom of the light bulb will become a sort of turtleneck. And you can put hair.
The easiest one. That's the most obvious one. The other ones are more difficult to do. Want me to find it for you?
And you can use the colors that you have in your kit. Right now I'm using the brush part. And let's put some fall colors. This woman has orange hair. And you can decide to put some color if you have watercolors in your at home. You can add watercolor to the background. You can add texture. And please raise your hand or if you have any questions about what I'm doing, or if you have ideas already of how you would be finishing this, please share with us.
Do you have any idea? Give me the back of an animal.
And we do currently have everybody muted, but we are happy to unmute you if you put your hand up and would like to share where you're thinking this half a light bulb is going to go for your piece.
Candle, the part of a candle.
And it's okay if you don't yet. It takes a while to look at it. I really appreciated seeing how Lola turned the piece in all different directions, just showing that we're all going to look at it in a different way.
It's the back of an animal.
You can spend as much time as you want. The other thing is, because sometimes we're intimidated, oh, I only have one and I'm gonna mess it up. So feel free to make copies of it. And it's also fun to work with some friends around the table, your family, if you wanna share it with other people, and you can all have light bulbs around the table. Everyone else does. It makes for a fun game. So,
And if
are
you
there
don't
any?
have a copier at home, we can leave just extra sets of these with the community center. So just ask for another set that you'd like to keep creating. So I know not everybody might have a copy machine at your house. So if you do want more, just ask for another set of the papers and they will hand that to you starting next week.
Yeah, so like Cindy said, just try to look at it for a while until something comes up. There's more. So there is a face here, and of course you can add the other eye and the nose and the mouth, and maybe put a fanciful hat or earrings. There's another ear concern. Maybe the shirt, maybe some pattern, like there's wallpaper in the background. Here, these two joggers in an empty path. You can add a friend to them. You can add trees and flowers to the path, make it a brick, a yellow brick road or a red brick road. You can add sunshine and clouds or rain. There's so many choices that you have in front of this. And the other thing is if you have a pencil at home and you're insecure, you can use a pencil to get your design started. And if you don't like it, you can always erase it before making it into a marker or a permanent piece. So you have all those choices. Here we have this house with mountains, and of course you can put clouds, you can put little tulips here, maybe a little lake, maybe some farm animals, whatever you think works for this page. So before I go into the next part, which you will receive in a month, I would like to get some feedback or some questions from you just about the prompts, which is what you have with you right now. So just raise your hand and we will hear what you need to, what you want to say or any questions you have from me.
Okay, Cheryl Brown, let's see, we're going to unmute you. You should have a pop-up showing that you'd like, okay, there you go, you can chat now.
Yes, I have a question on blending. You talk that you can blend with these pens. How do
Yes.
you do the blending?
Well, let's try it in front of you. Let's see if I want to put some if I want to put some green here. And let's see what happens if I make the orange one. Green and orange or red makes a kind of a brown. So you can just superimpose colors on top of each other. And of course, if you have watercolors at home or color pencils, you can do that too. Any other questions?
And everyone did get different colors. So when we see the works that you're putting together, you each have a kind of a different bunch of colors that are included in your kit. So that, again, it's a different way that all of you will have different creations depending on what was in your kit.
So
I didn't get a black. Did you get a black?
So the next part that you're gonna get in a month, I call this part of this is Tuesday, December 1st. So you have some time to finish the prompt drawings and drop them off so I can prepare a virtual art show for all of us to look at and share. So this side by side is basically one side is finished and the other side is yours to do. So first instinct is to look at it and say, oh no, that's too hard. That's too complicated. She wants me to do it exactly the same. But in fact, I don't. As you will see in the PowerPoint presentation, you can do polka dots and stripes on the other side. This becomes your vase to use your imagination. So don't be constricted necessarily from the other half. It only gives you inspiration to do the other side. Sunflower to finish, and the sunflower can turn into a rose. It would be a new kind of hybrid flower you would invent for humanity. So that's the sunflower. There's a very delicate watercolor flower that I painted that shows the transparencies, and this is something that you need watercolors to do, but you don't need to have watercolors. You can use the markers that you have and finish it any way you want to. But challenge yourself. Don't just finish it and be content with it. Add something to what I'm giving you so it becomes a creative piece rather than just finishing it. So that's the side by side. And then on Tuesday, January 5th, you would get a collage activity, which gives you, collage activity is picking up images from newspaper catalogs, National Geographics. Sometimes if you're looking for a specific thing that you would like to add to your collage, I go to googleimages.com and I just type in 19th century looking glass, and you'll be surprised to see that something does come up that fits that criteria. I've given you 3 pages of images that you can cut, you can edit, and you can paste on a blank piece of paper. So it's like a starting point for you to get started on a collage. An activity that I really like to do is on your side-by-side packet that you will receive. You will see this kimono and with a blank half of the other side. So you have a choice to design the other half of this kimono, or you also will get a bunch of papers that you can cut up into little squares and do a collage by adding pieces of paper to fill the blank side. So how I do this, I usually first set the papers until I'm happy with how it looks. And part of your pouch is you get a glue stick. So you can glue the pieces after you filled the white side and finish it up. You can also use the markers on top of your collage papers if you want to add a design, or you can just use the markers. But you can use these collage papers and add them to the collage pages that I'm giving you for your design. So for that, you only need a blank piece of paper. It could be typing paper, it could be poster board, and just make collages that are a combination of both the images and the abstract paper design. So I've talked a lot. So now I would like another round of questions for this part. And this basically has described for you the 3 parts of this project: the prompts, the side-by-side, and the collage. So you will be receiving these packets. So for now, you know, you have the prompts in front of you and you know what to do. And as soon as you finish them, you can take a picture of them with your cell phone and make sure that the cell phone is right on top of it, not skewed or just really straight. And just click and take a picture of it and send it to Sanchez Art Center's email, or drop it off with your name and email in the back to the Pacifica Senior Center. So having said all of that, let's see if there's any questions. Can you back and spotlight me? Cindy? Oh, there we go. So just raise your hand if you have any questions and concerns, insecurities, inspiration, whatever you want to share with me.
And I'm going through and unmuting people.
Yes.
I would like to leave.
Okay.
I think you're blocking everybody in.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I am, but I left my car keys right there. From now on, if you come home in the middle of the day, if you pull in there, because I have to pull straight up in order to.
Okay, so if you would like to, you all can unmute yourselves or raise a hand to ask a question if you'd like. What we really like about this program is about how you can all really just take it in a lot of different ways. And we'll give you a couple of minutes or a little bit here if you want to put your hand up or to unmute and ask Lola a question. And then otherwise, Lola, I think you also have a PowerPoint to share.
There's 3 people in the chat room.
So in chat, I did, as a reminder, I did get a question that we would, are recording this so that we can send this back out to everybody if you want to watch Lola creating a few things again. And I think what's important to remember is it's not necessarily creating fine art. You're all going to be creative and just have fun with it. That's our goal.
It's more like exercises.
So there's a question from Marsha Murphy in the chat.
Yeah, she wants to know how to get a packet.
So there are still a couple that are available at the community center, and I can make sure that they have a few more so they can be picked up during the grab and go lunch pickup time from 11:30 to 12:30. You can also pick them up at Sanchez Art Center at 1220 Lindemar Boulevard. We have the kits here and available during our gallery hours, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday between 1 and 5 p.m. And if you're getting a Meals on Wheels delivery, just let your volunteer know and they will bring you one.
Okay, so if there is no questions, what follows is I prepared for you a little PowerPoint presentation to show you what other people have done with the same materials to see if this inspires you to get started. So I'm gonna be sharing screen. So So these are two examples of what people did with the light bulb. One is a very clever, like fish line. It becomes a fish line. It becomes a woman's face. This is what someone did with the face. Really got elaborate, not only with the face and hair and shirt, but also put some colors in the back. And I'm pretty sure this is color pencil. This is what someone did with the house. They just added their own mansion on top of the prompt. This is what people did with the joggers. 3 different versions of it. This is what 3 different people did with their side-by-side empty vase. This is another example that you won't get, but it was just really, this is Van Gogh bedroom that someone duplicated on the other side. And this is collage. So I wanted to show you different views of just doing collage using magazines. And so you can do the same thing with the images, the pages of photos that are included in your collage, plus the paper designs. So on the left, you see how someone filled the kimono on the other side. And to the right, just a freestyle collage using a fish to get them started. So it looks like under water or just using color, black and white. And finally, there is another dress using the papers that you will be getting when you do collage activity. So this really ends the presentation. So I think I've given you a pretty clear idea of that all of you are more than capable of doing these exercises and letting your imagination feel free, just doing, just seeing the image and just letting it happen, what comes to mind when you see them and how you would finish them. And so are there any questions at this point?
Arlene had a question earlier. She needs to be unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I have 2 questions. One has to do with the meeting. We had the meeting that you were telling us about. Will we have other meetings to show us how to make images and stuff? Or will we just meet on those days that are on the calendar?
No, this is gonna be one of 2 Zoom meetings with me. So the first one was today, where I show you all the parts of the art kits that you will be getting every month, plus the PowerPoint presentation. And then on February 2nd, we will be looking at your work. I will make a PowerPoint presentation, like a virtual gallery of what you accomplished during this 3 months, and share it with everyone and talk about them.
The other question that I had, thank you, was when you were doing those things, I don't know how to do any of those things. This is the best way I can explain it to you. I used to be a second grade teacher. When I put my art up with all the second grade kids, nobody could find my art. Okay, because I just don't know how to do those things. So this is a little bit frightening to me, because I can see in my mind what I could put, but I can't physically know how to make that come out on paper.
I understand. So what you need to do then is look at it as design rather than being figurative. Go the abstract mode and just design polka dots or stripes or squares or a combination of beautiful colors and images that can help you. So I don't expect you to be able to draw a cow or a horse or anything like that. Just do what you can. Just see it as a design exercise rather than something that's going to go up in a museum.
Thank you.
And David has a question.
I do. I really like these dual brush pens, and I'm wondering where I can get some more colors.
You have to address that.
Yeah. If you, again, we can have some extra colors out at Sanchez Art Center Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 1 to 5. I can give a little supply to the community center as well. So if you want to go ahead and ask them for that, it'll take me a little bit to get them stocked with things, but we can have a few more for you all too to pick up if you want to complement something in the set you have.
Okay, thank you.
And
I just didn't have a
something-
black one, and I would like a black one.
Okay, sure. We can do that. And they were something that we purchased obviously in a big bulk batch from on Amazon, but we're happy to keep passing out what we have available.
Thank you.
Do we have any other questions, or I'd love to get some feedback about what you think of these ideas. We're really excited to see what you're going to do. And I appreciate that Lola mentioned, you know, like if I was doing it, I'm not a fine artist, even though I'm an executive director at the Sanchez Art Center. But they're just fun things that you can do to let your mind wander, and to just maybe even put the pen down and, you know, on the paper and see where it takes you, just, you know, as you're inspired right in the moment. So Lola, do you have an inspiration of how to get started? You know, maybe not to think too long about it, or how do you start one?
I start by looking at it for a long time, and I'm a little bit of a chicken myself, so I like to start with a pencil instead of a marker that just seems so permanent, and have an eraser handy. I like to do that. And I go to Google Images. If I absolutely need to have a cow as one of the things, you can just print it from your computer or just look at books or magazines. So you can use collage materials in any of the prompts. But I think investigating your own design process and what you can do just going abstract mode rather than figurative, if that's easy for you. But you can also take another piece of paper and just play around, not on the page of the prompt itself, but just to have like a scrap piece of paper where you can try different things, different colors, and then maybe you would be more ready to work on the real thing. So these are different ways of going about it. But basically, just don't get stressed out. It's something that it's gonna exercise your brain as much as your imagination. So just try to lighten up and get involved with the images and the colors and the lines, and not so much on the content, what it all means. It looks like this rather than like that. I mean, just put that judgment aside for while you're working. Any other questions?
So what we might do, and I'll check in with the folks at the community center too, is to, we might just host a Zoom get together just to see how you're doing, share some things. We've asked you to either drop off a copy or to take a picture of it and send it to us at info@sanchezartcenter.org. I'll put up that screen again that had the timing of what's to come. But really we're just really excited about providing an opportunity and a way for you just to have some fun. So don't be what I heard Lola say was, don't be intimidated, look at it, see what it speaks to you about, and start creating. And don't be worried about trying to create something that's going to be framed on your wall, but who knows, your family might put it up on the refrigerator.
Yeah, I think I'm a true believer in the process, that the process will teach you what to do next rather than you imposing what you want it to be. These exercises are meant for just getting involved with the process and just surprising yourself on what comes out. I mean, I think that's the joy of this project.
Absolutely. So to wrap up, we'll have more kits available at the community center to pick up at the grab and go lunch. If you have friends want to pick up another kit or a few other pen colors, we'll have those available, as well as additional copies of the templates for you.
It was very nice to meet all of you, and just think of me when you make these drawings, and just lessen the judgment part of your brain and just enjoy the process. So can't wait to see what you're gonna make, and we'll have a virtual art show at the end of this project. Thank you.
And we'll stay in touch with everybody through Dana and communications out at the community center. But you can also, if you'd like, feel free to, reach out to us at the info@Sanchez Art Center. And again, we really appreciate the support also from the good people here in the community at Pacificans Care, who helped provide funding for the supplies for everyone to take part in the program.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
We look
Thank
forward
you very much.
to you.
Happy art making.
Thank
Have
you.
fun. Okay. Thank you, everybody.